If anything, I'm only impressed. They grasp the quest so fast, cause a lot of niggas said it won't last. A lot of man never has faith, thinking a lot of things I know they won't say. Hey, I was never running through the six with balls or cutting through the bits with O's.
Yo, my name's Lingo, and you're watching Any Views.
Sitting in Stephanie's crib, I was killing it ink, printing A4 covers I made on paint to fit in the case. Snip, snip, fold.
Snip, snip, fold. Snip, snip, fold.
Now I reside in a distinctive zone, creating intrinsic flows. Yo, so when I get booked and I hit these shows, we're summoning energies like a mystic scroll. Delivering a message they can't deny. Lord knows they don't find it hard to try. So between me and them is a vast divide. Space, I'm just trying to make stars align and move the world. But for now, I just watch anime and talk to girls, yeah.
His mantra is TRIP, which stands for the risk is proof. He's been labelled as a lyricist, a name that he lives up to, especially in conversations. Mm-hmm. He has the ability to make you feel nostalgic by his wordplay, always improving and giving you better versions of himself. Today, I'm joined by Lingo.
Yo.
What's happening, brother? How you doing?
Man. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Living.
I think, when was the last time I saw you? I think it was Off Balance.
Yes, yeah. It was. I love that show, you know. Yeah. That show made me smile, man, because I saw so many of my peers there, like people that I just like, I was running with from from ages ago, do you know what I mean? Like I came up in from open mics, do you know what I mean? So there was times when I was doing certain open mics and I was seeing the same faces, and now I'm doing like headline shows in other countries, and I'm like coming back and doing shows in UK, and I'm seeing the same faces, do you know what I mean? And they're just tearing away in their own lane, so it's good, man.
The scene is looking really healthy right
sick.
now.
And the new artists that are coming out as well, like ones that come a little bit later than we did, do you know what I mean? So it's sick.
Let's start from the top.
Yeah.
How did you get into rap?
I was originally, all my rap derives from grime. So like everything from Better Versions backwards to like Knock My Hustle was like grime. Do you know what I mean? Not grime, it wasn't grime in essence of the genre, but it was grime in essence of where the derivative came from my rap. Do you know what I mean? But I got into rap through grimes. I was listening to Chip, Wiley, Getz, Dot Rotten, who's Zeph Ellis now. And yeah, mostly, and P Money, and mostly P Money, Getz, and Dot Rotten. And that's how I kind of constructed my flow, do you know what I mean? And the way to like weave my words in and out of sound by listening to them on grime, like all the time, do you know what I mean? So, and then as I grew up, that was when I was like maybe 13, 14, 15. But as I started to get a little bit older and I hit like late teens, I started to get into rap and how I could like articulate myself more with rap, like as in hip hop. And obviously 90s hip hop, so I was writing a lot of that early stuff to like Slum Village, J Dilla, Pete Rock, DJ Premier, do you know what I mean? Like I was writing a lot of my early rap stuff to that. And that allowed me to kind of tell a story. Everything was like a story. So I did all of that, and then I wrote some songs that I can still perform now, like just timeless rap that I know I can like release at any point and it will just hit home with people, do you know what I mean? So that's how I got into rap. I started with grime and it just kind of evolved, and then when I started doing things like Knock My Hustle, it was rap sounds, like rap sonics and rap like kind of nostalgia, and it had the warmth of rap and the warmth of like soul, but the flows from grime, do you know what I mean? And Knock My Hustle was a perfect example of that, do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of where it went, and that's how it evolved and became where it is now.
Okay, cool.
So now I use that plus a little bit of singing now, do you know what I mean? So
fast forward to 2016, Better Versions EP.
Yeah.
I remember we was talking about this. You had to push back the date. That was when you was performing at Tape London.
Yeah.
You told me an exclusive that day as well.
Yeah, I did.
You told me an exclusive that day as well. When it finally was settled and conformed and constructed, actually you was happy with that piece that be released.
Yeah.
What did Better Versions do for you as a person? Did it challenge you mentally? Did you see yourself becoming a better rapper or a better lyricist? Did you feel like you had to go in for this?
Yes and no. Less a better rapper, because that was just me exercising a different muscle when it came to rap. Does that make sense? But more as a person, because it was stuff that I'd never spoken about before. Do you know what I mean? So like Stephanie's crib, I talk about like the grind and like, but more in much more detail to like my relationship with a certain girl, and it wasn't even romantic. It was just, she was one of my first ever supporters, like the first people that ever went that extra mile for me before I even knew I wanted to be an artist. Do you know what I mean? And she just kind of believed in what I was on. So from things like that and how that made me feel and how my status on my block, because I grew up on a council estate in South London, so like my status on my block to like I wasn't doing everything that them man were doing. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't in a gang. I didn't roll with anything. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't that guy. I made some very, very harsh and rash mistakes to do with that life, but I never actually got into that. Do you know what I mean? I just kind of was influenced by it for a very short period of time that affected me quite heavily. But so I talk about that stuff, and I talk about like on Never Smoke, which is on Better Versions as well. I talk about like my relationship with my dad and how I only ever saw him when he brought pirate CDs to my house. Do you know what I mean? Like pirate PS1 games to my house, on my like 11th birthday or some shit like that. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, so like I talk about my relationship with my dad and how sometimes I think I'm vain, but then other times I look at myself and I think, am I even happy with myself? Like loads of things, but just very quickly, because the flow is like grime, do you know what I mean? So I talk about all these things, but if you listen carefully, you'll catch everything. But because I've never spoken about that stuff before, it was more me being a better person. It was more about me kind of letting go of that and thinking, all right, cool, I've said this now. I've kind of put this out in like this abstract grime-esque rap, future beats alternative kind of way, because that's how I felt. And now I'm ready to be better in every way. Do you know what I mean? And things have only gotten better since, so I'm thankful, definitely.
On that turning point, it got premiered on Beats1.
Yeah. And I did an interview with Julie Adenuga. That was dope.
When you got that, what was your expression? Because that to be in such an independent artist, to be able to do that, and everything was all off your own back, making your own songs, doing the EP, doing your own shows, all off your own back, to then being premiered on Beats1, to know that, how many countries does Beats1 cover?
Over 100.
Over 100 countries?
Yeah, over 100 countries in the world. It's definitely, within my knowledge, it's one of the biggest radio stations to date. But what it was is that, if I give you the history first, so I met Julie because I think her partner at the time knew about me.
Okay.
Her respective partner knew about me, and he told her about me. So it was like just organic word of mouth. And she was launching Play It, which was a channel that had affiliated with Channel AKA. So she was inviting select artists down that she liked to interview and do live performances. So like Stormzy's done one, Nadia Rose, Jams, T.E., Koji Radical, etc., Emma V, etc. So she invited me to come and do one, and I'd never met her before, but I knew who she was, obviously. And when I met her, it was like, it's proper sick to meet you. And she's like, yeah, my partner told me about you and blah, blah, blah. So I did that, and we gelled from that point. And she was like, yeah, take my email, because she just sent us an email like, yo, I'm trying to get you on when's good for you, kind of thing. So went on and we gelled, and she said, yeah, send me any music that you want to send me. But these times I didn't know she was going to be on Beats1.
Okay.
So when I found out she was on Beats1, I was thinking, oh, like, let me send her some music now, innit? Like, so I sent her some music, and it wasn't Better Versions. This was before that. This was Channeling the Waves. So obviously, which came up beginning of 2016. So I sent her Channeling the Waves like, yo, just take a listen to this. Let me know what you think. She just sent me back an email like, completely informally, just saying this is effing sick, and then the next week I heard it on Beats1, and that is literally how it went, like literally.
Mad.
And I was top three selected her UK represent for Beats1, so it played that whole week, and then they kept it on, and then Apple contacted us like, yo, we want to support this more, can we? Do you know what I mean? So they did, and they couldn't, and then it stayed on Beats1 for like, I don't even know how long, and it was just there. So Channeling the Waves was actually my debut on Beats. And then we sent them Better Versions like, yo, Judy, what do you think of this? And she was like, this is crazy, do you want to come in and do an interview? And obviously I wasn't expecting that, so I was like, of course I want to do an interview, do you know what I mean, on Beats1 radio, of course I do, do you know what I mean? So I went in and did one, and then we premiered Better Versions, the world premiere. So we premiered Better Versions with her. So I've got a lot of time and a lot of love for Judy, because she's one of the most genuine people I've ever met in my life, like full stop, not even in the industry, just full stop. And we get along so well, do you know what I mean? Like, she's invited me to do other stuff with her, like for proteges that she's got coming up in presenting and stuff like that. She's a proper thorough woman.
Dope. One of my next questions, as I'm sure that you read as well, was that, is it hard being a lyricist, being from this country? Rap, making it as well.
I think it's hard when you're trying to prove stuff to other people. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's difficult when when you know your talent, but you get frustrated about the fact that other people don't appreciate you the way you want to be appreciated, rather than just kind of accepting what it is that you are. Do you know what I mean? To them, because you can be whatever you want to be to yourself, but if somebody else doesn't care, there's only certain things that are going to trigger them to care, and you can be angry at the fact that it might be now I'm playing on Beats1, or now I'm playing on BBC1 Extra, or now I'm playing on blah blah, now you want to chat to me, now you want to support, and blah 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 blah. You can be bitter about that, or you could just accept the fact that somebody's now supporting you. Do you know what I mean? And I was just never bitter about it. I just never took it personally. So I've never felt like it was hard, because I never did it for other people. I did it because I didn't have anything else naturally that I wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? I just wrote, and that's how it came out. That was my music. Do you know what I mean? And making music just made me happy. So I just wanted to continue to make music, continue to spit bars. And my friendship circle, like, they think I'm the sickest rapper out. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Standard, as they should.
do you know what I mean? So, and because of that, they kind of just come spit some new bars. Like, we haven't grown up and grown out of the idea of just sitting down and spitting bars with each other. Do you know what I mean? And it's all the same kind of reactions when I spit a bar, and it connects in their head, and like this is crazy, like, you're nuts, you know, like, no, start again, do you know what I mean? Like, so we still do that stuff. So because of that, I was never not encouraged to continue. And even from when I was younger, like when I was doing grime, no one ever told me like, yeah, you're all right. Everyone was always like, yeah, you're sick. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've definitely got a talent for this, like, from young. And it was just.
Do you ever get tired of hearing that? Because I'm sure even outside your circle, you must hear that.
No. You never.
I've said that. I think if I date back to when we did our first interview on West Side Radio, people mention it, and when I listened to it to myself, I was like, wow, this is one of the first time I heard Not My Hustle.
Yeah.
Bro, oh man. Lumberjack shirt with the Vans.
My God.
Like, I was thinking, what? Like, how is he? And he's wearing a lumberjack as well. So I'm like thinking, what's going on? Like, it was so different, and I feel like that's what. There's so much stars coming out of the UK that just makes the UK so hot right now, and I definitely feel like you're one of the people that needs to be shone more light on, because you're absolutely sick, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Comes from the heart. Zuko.
Yeah.
What's the story about that? And congratulations on coming.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, so Zuko is not new. Zuko I dropped last year on SoundCloud. Like, it's not released, but well, now it is. But yeah, I dropped that last year. I originally wanted to put Zuko on the Better Versions EP, because Stephanie's Crib, the tagline that everyone remembers is, now I just watch anime and talk to girls. So I wanted to kind of end that song and go into Zuko, which is about anime. You know what I'm saying? It's about Aang, Last Airbender, Zuko being the Prince of Fire Nation, etc., etc. So yeah, when we kind of got to the point of, okay, so what songs are going to be on the EP? Ages ago, obviously, Zuko was cut out of it, because I just thought, no, I just want this to be about this. And I definitely at some point want to do an EP that's just focused around anime or whatever. So I'm just going to put Zuko on that project when I do it. Do you know what I mean? And by that time, I'd already recorded other songs that were anime themed, which has now turned into, is an exclusive, my next EP. So
plug.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm working on a new EP. So. Yeah.
Don't say it with the chest, bro. I'm working on a new EP. When's that coming out?
I don't know yet. But yeah, so Zuko, when I went to Berlin, it was originally to work with a band over there called Bakery, who are on tour right now, actually. And yeah, they're from Germany. They're super sick. They're like an alternative indie band, but they all like play instruments really, really well. And there's some singers and stuff. And they just got a violinist, actually, like just crazy, but it's such a good sound. So I went over there to work with them originally. Colours heard I was in town, and they invited us down to do a Colours after some people just kind of emailed them and said, yo, Shay's in town, you should get him to do a Colours. So they invited us to do the Colours on maybe the day before I left. And yeah, I just did Zuko. Like, I was debating whether to do Zuko or something else. And I just thought, well, I'm going to put out an anime EP next probably anyway. So I just did Zuko, and then it just started to tear through the internet, do you know what I mean? Like, we dropped it, and before the day was out, Unilad hit us up like, yo, we want it for Unilad. Then when High Snobiety found out that it was out, and they found out Unilad wanted it, they wanted it too. So, but they'd written an article already, because Colours and High Snobiety are connected. Okay. So yeah, High Snobiety kind of just like, they watched it. They obviously watched all of the colours, so they watched it and they're like, yo, this is crazy. Like, so they wrote about it too. And then everybody kind of just the raw essence of it, for what I think to be the raw essence of it, everybody just kind of was so excited by the way that I delivered it, that they just started posting it, and it just kind of just started to pick up so much fire. Like, and obviously with the views from Facebook and the views from YouTube and all the things that were coming back from it, like so many people have just started to kind of hit me up from all different parts of the world, like Montreal all the way through to like Brazil, like to France, to Germany, just hitting me up, just saying, yo, your stuff's amazing, like blah blah blah, and it's just super sick. So yeah, Zuko isn't a new song, but I guess it's just got a new fire now.
Right now, obviously being in the scene for quite the time that you have been in the scene, one, who still inspires you now? Yeah, that you still seeing it and I'm thinking like, wow, they're sick. Who still inspires you now? And two,
who would I want to make an album with, don't you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who would you make a joint album with? Because obviously I see that America are doing that quite a lot.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm waiting till the day Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole do their own. But who would be yours?
I don't have one, I have two. I want to make an album with a production group or a production duo called the Rascals. They had one song on Little Sim's Stillness in Wonderland album, and I think it's called Picture Perfect, and it's such a dope tune. The production on that song is just crazy, and from when I heard that song, I wanted to know who the Rascals were. Do you know what I mean? So, and it's funny because now it's come full circle, and I'm in a very good position to meet one of them. So, and they're Grammy award winning producers.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So, it's an honor. Do you know what I mean? To even think that I'm going to be in a position to meet them. But I'd want to do a joint album with the Rascals on production, and I'd want to, if I had to add like an artist to that production or that album, it would probably be Chance.
Sick.
Yeah, I'd want to work with Chance just because he just makes me smile. He's just the G, and he just makes me smile, and he has no bravado. Do you know what I mean? Like, he has no bravado. Well, from his personality through music, what he communicates to me is that he has no bravado, and all he cares about is his music, his family, and God. That's it. Do you know what I mean? And all I want to do ultimately in music is pay my bills. I just want to pay my bills, look after my family, and just travel the world. That's it. Like, whatever respective level I'm at, whether it's I want a mansion and I need £1 million a day to cover my mansion, then I need to make enough music and be famous enough and be respected enough to make £1 million a day. If I want to stay in my flat in Clapham, then I just need enough money to do that. Do you know what I mean? That's all I want to do ultimately. Like, I just want to live creating music. That's it. Do you know what I mean? So, and just being known for being who I am and speaking about what I do and how I live. That's it. Do you know what I mean? Just the rawest, purest form of what music is in just loads of different creative ways. So I think I'd want to do a joint album produced by the Rascals and with credits from Cutflow and SJ Reed, who are my producers now. And the artist I'd work with is Chance the Rapper.
Alright, cool. I'm definitely going to make sure he hears this and sees this. Hopefully we get this trending.
Yeah,
of
please.
Course. Last question. Goals for 2017?
Goals for 2017. I want to go to Japan. I want to do a headline show in Japan.
Okay.
That's my goals. My goals for 2017. I want to do a headline show in Japan with this new EP.
Right. Well, I need to be said to that. Headline show in Japan. I'll definitely be there hosting.
Sick.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that wraps it up for me. That wraps it up with Shay Lingo. You check this out. You see it. Get it trending, get it traffic.
Please.
There's so much stuff on here worthy of being mentioned. Thank you so much, Shay, for coming on the show.
No worries, bro. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.